Before we start, I learned why proxies are illegal. According to my man Ratfucker, it's because they're official Holo investigators. They have to go to school and get their bachelor's degree in Holos, get a master's in Holo investigation, probably do a residency or something, get 2,000 to 3,000 supervised hours of Holo investigating, maybe a cert or two. And proxies just do all that without the schooling. Of course, the best people to work with while navigating a dangerous, life-threatening nightmare dimension are completely untrained.
One thing, I'm not a big fan of the government. 30 on 30. I'm not a big fan of the government.
Ooh, also I forgot to mention that because they called the cops on their own Internet account and lost all of their income last episode, they had to make a new account to start fresh. I called mine Bear912. Luckily, they have a successful movie rental business to fall back on. Never seen that kind of business fail. Finally, let's begin Chapter 1. As Belle does her dailies, Wise approaches her regarding Fairy. They know the horrors of a Force AI assistant are many, but can't deny how useful she can be at times. Belle also proposes that perhaps, if they make the most of her abilities, they can get some leads on something they've been investigating for their old teacher. Ooh, a plot device. Hope that gets explained soon. But for now, I guess Fairy gets a pass. Anyway, Wise reveals that Nicole got the last mission from an anonymous subcontractor. Not shady at all. Now she's doing research on the Red Fang Gang, something that, in my opinion, she should have done before taking on the commission. Granted, she is always desperate for cash, so she would take on a job like this. I'm kidding, Nicole, I love it. That night, Belle and Wise decide to chill and watch TV to de-stress. They put on their favorite show, the news, to find that, with the election coming soon, a big construction project to renovate an old metro system has begun. The company behind the construction is called the Vision Corporation, a company of complete fuck-ups that almost got people killed. The leader of Vision, Charles Perlman, explains that they want to completely destroy the old metro system in order to rebuild it. They transported explosives through a holo known as the Dead End Holo to a demolition site despite the obvious danger. Apparently, the bombs can only be detonated by a button or enough external force, so they should be fine under the pressures of the holo. The news goes on to stroke Vision's ego while putting down their competitor construction company, Bellabog Heavy Industries. Apparently, Vision won the bid to take on the project because they could do it with fewer costs. Rip my homies at Bellabog, you'll be relevant soon, I swear. After Perlman accidentally hints that he might be a bad guy on live TV, he totally is, the interview ends, leaving Belle and Wise curious on how they managed to save a bunch of people that were trapped in the holo, while simultaneously shipping the explosives inwards as well. This is suddenly interrupted by Fairy warning them that a customer is rapidly approaching their location. However, the customer breaks and enters as well, just to say that Perlman is indeed the bad guy, just like Nicole did. But she's not hot. Not a trusted friend, so the twins are a bit skeptical. Anyway, meet Nekomata. She's what's called a thyron, or animal person. She's a cat girl, pretty much. She mixes meows and nyas into her regular speech and does that weird thing with her hands. Look, I'm a cat owner myself, so I'm not going to give her too much shit for it. I'll probably just use cat memes to explain her whole deal. Also, in commemoration of the cat character being introduced in this episode, I've invited the cat to hang out with me as I record lines. Kitty! Kitty! Come here! Look at me! Meow! Who'ya go kitty? Who'ya go kitty? Anyway, Nekomata explains that Nicole sent her and that the cunning hairs are in the blast zone mentioned on TV. Because Nekomata brought Nicole's Bangbu, Fairy is able to convert its visual recording into an MP4 file to view. Rather than going to help their friends, they all cuddle in close and watch the MP4 together. I think Belle even made some popcorn.
Data read complete. Commencing playback.
Whoa, you've got an image.
Let me see. Yeah, that's it. That's the day me and Nicole met.
On screen, you see that Nicole gets surrounded by the Red Fang Gang guys, who think that the Hares killed their boss. In actuality, it was the boss who got turned into the Ethereal last time guarding the strongbox, so I guess the Hares did actually kill him in the end. Oops. She proceeds to knock them out with her mechanical briefcase, despite being a support unit. What, did she tread their defense that much? At this point in the game, there's no way you could have built her enough to do enough damage. But okay. Regardless, after taunting them, she gets ambushed by a cloaked Nekomata. At least it seems so until she helps her escape the RFG's site. She explains to Nicole that she's anti-RFG too and guides her back to her colleagues to explain a commission she has to steal back her family heirloom from the RFG. She even says she'll pay 30 to 70% of its values for their services. This immediately activates Nicole's neurons, but Anby not so much. In fact, she even cites a movie as evidence that Nekomata isn't who she says she is. Maybe she saw that new Dogman movie featuring the cat villain, I don't know the name. Or maybe she's just allergic to cats. After Nekomata proves her sincerity by ending a man's life, hi kitty, Nicole is convinced and seals the deal. They then agree to meet up in the Hollow outside one of the RFG's bases. Once they arrive, Anby once again voices her concerns about Nekomata through a stuffy nose and watery eyes, citing a 67.26% chance that Nekomata is deceiving them. Despite being too lazy to check her math, this is met with immediate invalidation from Nicole in the name of money.
Money!
Once inside the Hollow, they loot the first RFG base, only to find that they don't know what exactly they're looking for. Nekomata takes that as a cue to bring up the Hares' lousy reputation. Why even hire them, I definitely hear you asking? Because she thinks that they lured the RFG boss into the Hollow to kill him. Yeah, totally.
Lured and defeated? We did something that awesome?
They check the next base to no avail as well. But the last base, it's in the Dead End Hollow, you know, the same one that the Vision Corporation is using to ship the explosives to the Blast Zone. The Dead End Hollow is also apparently home to an especially vicious ethereal dubbed the Dead End Butcher. Wait, weren't the bombs susceptible to external force? What if this thing broke into the train, blew the train and the Hollow up? Why did Perlman allow that? Is he stupid? Anyway, they agree to head there the next day. Cut back to the Proxies and Nekomata. Even she cringes at her Catgirl persona. But bottom line is, the Hares are trapped in the Blast Zone. Shit. Fairy turns on the twins' favorite show, again to tell them that Vision's last demolitions train is about to leave. The three consider many options from here, but all of which would reveal the cunning Hares as Hollow Raiders, which are also illegal. But like, look at them. A big robot with guns, and two girls, one with a sword and what is essentially a grenade launcher? Does an odd jobs agency really need those? What odd jobs are you gonna have them do? Cut the grass? Tidy up the house? Not that I would mind if Nicole did those things. Barry interjects by proposing intercepting the train in the Hollow, as to hide from public security. Considering Nekomata is a Hollow Raider herself, the twins send her in with Belle synced to Eos, the Vangbu, to look for the train. Their plan is simple. Chase the train, reroute it inside of a tunnel, then chuck Belle inside to turn the train off. This is all while evading the Dead End Butcher. In the Hollow, Nekomata finds a train car blocking their path, and it sounds like a little girl is trapped inside. She introduces herself as Corin, and begins to list all of her personal info. Nekomata and the twins want to help, but she's unfortunately stuck in the train blocking their path. How else is she gonna get out?
Watch out!
Are you hurt?
Phew. Good, my apron's okay. Nice to meet you, investigators. I saw through it.
Oh, she's got a chainsaw? That's sick as hell! Meet Corin! Wait, meet Corin. Well, you practically know all of her personal information. Aside from that, she's really shy for some reason. Corin is a maid whose company also happens to work in Hollow services. They agree to take her with them to drop her off at the nearest Hollow exit. She may have come and left so quickly, but don't worry, Fire Emblem fans. You'll be seeing plenty more of Kjorn from our channel eventually. The train and Nekomata make it to the tunnel where a well-thrown Belle sneaks onto the train. It should be empty, so this mission should be easy. However, the literal army of pubset guards inside the train say otherwise. What? You mean to tell me that they aren't sending massive explosions unsupervised into the hazardous area? Phew, at least Perlman thought of that. Luckily, Nekomata breaks in herself to save Belle. She throws her yet again outside the Hollow, saying she'll make her own way back. Having no client to lead anymore, Belle heads back to random play. Wise greets her with the relieving news that the demolition was postponed to at least tomorrow night due to technical difficulties. Unfortunately, there's still no word from Nekomata regarding the PubSec guards. Wait, were they even PubSec? Wise outlines that they were clearly annoyed with their uniforms and that they didn't fit. Either they just suck or their uniforms weren't theirs. Oh, and also, they don't trust Nekomata either. At least Wise doesn't. He would be allergic to cats. The next day, Nekomata returns, saying her carrot, aka Hollow GPS essentially, would only navigate to a further Hollow exit. Wise confronts Nekomata between coughing fits and nose blows to ask what the deal behind the fake PubSec officers was. Nekomata insists that they finish watching Nicole's Bang Boo visuals, so Belle pops a popcorn again, and they settle in to watch. The Cunning Hares and Nekomata are still in the dead-end hollow, tracking down the RFG base. Nekomata spots a little girl and suggests that they save her. However, that direction is marked with claw marks, as if the dead-end butcher were there. Interesting. Anby, calculate the probability that Nekomata just wants you to get killed by the dead-end butcher. They agree to save her and head down that way anyway. Unfortunately, only Nekomata seems to lay eyes on the supposed lost girl. Luckily, she uses the power of gaslighting to encourage the hares to keep going anyway, deeper and deeper into what seems like the dead-end butcher's territory. At least until she's the first to run out of stamina. Billy's actually the first to question a kid being there at all, saying that everyone should have gotten evacuated before the explosion. Corin was at least there working. Regardless, he does actually find a lost kid.
Despite your directions.
He proceeds to chase her at max speed, saving her like some kind of superhero. Oh yeah, Billy's super into superheroes. Specifically the Starlight Knights. They're just Power Rangers, pretty much. Billy then gets punched in the face by the little girl, who claims that she saved them. Suddenly, the wall behind them blows up to reveal... Dun dun dun! The dead-end butcher. Luckily, the little girl falls through an exit to the hollow she quite literally stumbled upon. Everyone then falls through with her. Billy sticks the landing, but then gets crushed by everyone else. They finally get their bearings and find themselves in Canvas Street, where the bomb is supposed to detonate. However, they find tons and tons of people here. The people say that they haven't been able to contact anyone on the outside, meaning Vision is essentially keeping them trapped there. They've even got fake PubSec officers guarding the exits. After a small chat with a local old lady, the hares deduced that the way Vision was able to cut costs to actually take the project on was to not evacuate the people inside. And now the hares are trapped in there too. Again, shit. Nicole starts panicking, saying she never signed up for this. Nekomata wants to help, and Billy says he'll follow Nicole. Anby says that she has to stay, that she won't make the same mistake again. Ooh, another plot device. This hasn't even been revealed at the time of writing this script, so even I'm shocked to find this again. After Anby's whole speech, Nicole realizes that billionaires suck and that she should extort them for all of their money. In her money-crazed stupor, Nicole sends Billy and Anby to collect signatures for a lawsuit against Vision, and Nekomata back to the proxies for help. Now, having been caught up, the twins and Nekomata devise a plan of action to seize the Vision train and transport everybody out. They all head back to Canvas Street and relay what happened to Nicole and what the plan is now. The old lady gives some background on the RFG, saying they used to be actually good people, taking in orphans and such. Then the leader, Silver, turned bad, and the whole gang turned bad. In fact, the lady is even happy that Silver fell into the hollow while getting chased by PubSec.
Huh?
Nekomata genuinely thought the hares killed him. They apologize for leading her on, I guess, then gather the residents to the train platform to await pickup. They head to the train as Anby hums the background music. No, actually, she sings one of the battle songs in-game. It's pretty great. I wonder what her favorite song in the game's OST is. You think she likes Sonic music? Can she sing Live and Learn? They hijack the train to find Perlman itself trapped inside. They kidnap him as Belle drives the train to the platform. But on the way, one of the guards announces that he's blown up the only track back to New Eridu from there in order to prevent the train from taking everyone back. Now they're all trapped together, dumbass.
You fool! You were supposed to blow it up after we've evacuated!
The hares hide Perlman inside of the train. Because he's a little bitch, he calls off the attack on the off chance he gets hurt too. Suddenly, Nekomata laughs, saying she's found her family heirloom. It's a locket with her and... Silver? It's no use! She explains that she's one of the orphans that the RFG took in all those years ago. She wanted to get revenge on the hares for killing him, but they didn't. With her complex character arc complete, she leaves the train with Perlman tied up to negotiate with Vision. With the fake PubSec officers gone, they can then go the other way to leave the blast site. However, the dead-end hollow is still there. Apparently, literally every citizen there is either old or sickly and have really bad ether aptitude. That means they'll probably corrupt very easily upon entering the Hollow. The train does provide some coverage, but only for a bit. Bell suggests shrinking the Hollow so that they spend less time in there. The only way to do that is to defeat Ethereals, about 3,000 of them to make a noticeable difference. Or they can fight one big Ethereal, the Dead End Butcher. Gotta fit a final boss in there somehow. Nekomata rushes to the city again with Perlman in tow, demanding to talk to a Vision secretary named Sarah. She, as a representative of the RFG, says she'll return him as long as Vision halts the demolition and gets the citizens out. She even volunteers to sacrifice herself so that no bad rep about Vision gets out. This is because she believes she has no place to go after. Aww. However, Sarah responds by pulling a gun. Oh, it's a tranquilizer. And shooting Perlman in the head. Apparently he's just a pawn in the game too. Cut back to the Hares, who are fully expecting boss music to play.
Almost here. The monster? The theme song.
Even so, they're still caught off guard when the Dead End Butcher throws his weapon to the ground, nearly hitting Billy. At the end of the fight, they take advantage of the lightning by conducting it through Anby's sword into the Dead End Butcher.
Think of something, Roxy!
New countdown, 4, 3, 2, 1 now.
It's dead now. Cut back again to Nekomata. Sarah then pulls out a demolition switch, fully intending to detonate the explosives and killing everyone. She hits the button, and the bombs go off. Nah, just kidding. The cunning Hares march into the scene, angry mob behind them. Sarah then has her army of fake PubSec guys open fire at the residents, only to be interrupted again. The real PubSec drives in. Bellabog is here too! Remember them? I told you they'd be relevant soon. Apparently, Nicole knew Bellabog was still bitter after losing the Metro project, so she called them up to expose the scandal for them. Nice! Nekomata attempts to sneak away during all the chaos, but Anby gives her a big ol' hug to say I'm sorry. She then invites Nekomata out to dinner with the Hares and the Proxies. Aww. Of course, none of this is pictured. Game does suck, after all. Man. Oh right, Nicole did actually find out more about the RFG and the Strongbox. Apparently the RFG stole it, but nobody knows where it actually came from. That, and Nekomata is now an official member of the Cunning Hares, and she does have a picture of the dinner. Phew, I already have the rest of the videos planned. Didn't want to have to ditch them this early on.